Donald Trump has been found guilty on all counts of falsifying business records in an attempt to cover up these alleged relationships in the New York hush money trial. This is an extraordinary moment.
Nora, to hear you read what you just read is a moment of enormous gravity for this country.
Welcome to The Right Angle. So today we had an event that has never happened in the history of our nation. Never. It's happened in dictatorships around the world. It's happened in communist regimes. It happens in strongman monarchies across the Middle East. You know, we have this party. Can we call the Democrats a party now? Are they really a political party? Or can we call them hell-bent on nothing but power? They've been after this absolute destruction of everything we know. Nothing about what is happening is right. Nothing about this is justice. And if you look at the facts of the case as a rational mind and a rational being, you should come to the same conclusion. So we look at the case, right? Trump has been charged under certain New York business statutes saying that he's guilty of falsifying business records in the first degree. He's also been tried for allegedly conspiring to promote or prevent an election. And then if you look at the 34 counts, or, you know, these quote-unquote felony counts that we have in this case, they consist of counts against 11 checks made out by the liar Michael Cohen, and also sort of these corresponding vouchers and invoices. So the charges against Trump were misdemeanors, you know, kind of like similar charges that have been filed against Obama that he paid a fine for, similar charges that have been filed against Clinton, and virtually every other major politician over the past, 100 years. But in New York, the Empire State, it's a felony now, especially if your name is Donald Trump. And, you know, I asked myself, this misdemeanor that's now a felony, is this really the biggest problem in New York right now? I don't know. You be the judge.
New video is sparking even more outrage over the group of migrants accused of attacking two New York City police officers. That's what you're looking at on the left hand of your screen. Those guys were freed without bail. And now look at this. Here's one suspect flipping the bird to the cameras. He could care less. Another blows kisses as he smiles and laughs. The other suspect next to him also putting up the middle fingers and cursing at those reporters. Remorseless, brazen, smug.
I just got punched in the face walking home.
Tonight, the man accused of that harrowing attack charged with misdemeanor assault after allegedly punching 27-year-old Michaela Tonato in the face this week. That arrest comes a day after 40-year-old Skaboki Stora was charged for this reported assault on 23-year-old Hallie McGuckin.
I was literally just walking and a man came up and punched me in the face. Oh my God, it hurts so bad.
Stora, a fringe political candidate who once ran for mayor, has an extensive criminal record, police say. And earlier this week, a third man was charged, accused of punching a 57-year-old woman in the face. The arrests come as dozens of women have taken to social media, sharing stories of allegedly being randomly sucker punched across New York City.
A homeless man arrested for punching a woman in the face was arrested again today. 26-year-old Eugene Webb was taken into custody Thursday for hitting a woman so hard it knocked her tooth out. Under the city's new criminal justice reform laws, he was released Friday morning without bail. But Webb was arrested again for aggressive panhandling near a bank entrance in Greenwich Village. Police say Webb was carrying a glass pipe containing what appeared to be the drug K2. Investigators say Webb has a history of assaulting women for no reason.
Yet another subway attack on an NYPD officer. This disturbing video shows the incident happening in broad daylight.
Yeah, this comes just days after another incident happened, and it left an officer bruised and bloodied. Fox Eye's Linda Schmidt talked to the president of the NYPD's largest union about this violent trend.
Police unions have had enough of these videos. People assaulting New York City police officers.
Criminals right now feel like they're just going to get a slap on the wrist and be back on the streets of the city of New York.
The latest example is 3 suspects who police say beat an officer after he asked them to stop smoking at a subway station in the Bronx. Prosecutors asked the court to impose bail for the suspects, but the judge released them without bail.
So I'm trying to understand, what is it like to be a New Yorker? I mean, past the bravado and the bluster and all the things that they're sort of known for. You know, I don't claim to really know any New Yorkers. I don't know anyone from that city. I mean, I'm in the deep South, so I've never really met many of them. But I just really want to understand what it's like to vote as a Democrat in that city, to see the utter corruption. I mean, you have to be so disconnected from reality, really, just whatever you see out there, to see the same things, to see these murderers and these rapists and all these people on your streets over and over again. Bail reform gone. But when Trump comes in, if his lawyer lies about him writing a check, then, oh yeah, it's felony, and let's throw the book at him. How is that fair? You know, when you look at the trial and the facts and the evidence, which, you know, amounted to nothing. The lawyer admitted that he stole from Trump. He's actually a convicted liar in court. He's a convicted liar in Congress. You know, and don't even get me started about Stormy Daniels, this person of interest who was paid the hush money, who admitted in 2018 that she didn't get forced to do anything. And then in the courtroom, she changed her entire story, while the people in the courtroom knew she was changing her story, when the judge said that the prosecution or the defense could not basically bring those things up within the courtroom to talk about them, and that the jury had to dismiss them. I mean, what kind of kangaroo showroom court are we talking about? Imagine seeing all this as a Democrat, seeing all the corruption, seeing the trial, and especially for those that followed every step of the way, seeing every single thing that happened. Imagine you see the judge usurp Trump's Sixth Amendment rights. Imagine the same judge telling the jury to ignore evidence. Imagine a corrupt DA getting elected to just go after your political opponents. Just imagine it. Stop and think about it. And then you applaud. And then you say, yeah, we're going to get him. We're going to put that orange man in jail. Trump bad, Trump bad. I mean, it's TDS off the scales. You know, they look at that and they say that it's justice. I just don't see how a people's of that sort of mindset, you know, how did they grow and blossom or fester really in this country? How are they citizens here? It's such a different mindset that I really truly don't understand it. And you know, it just begs the question, what can be next?
So this is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause.
So here indeed we see that the Empire State has literally struck back. And this is in all the worst ways that are possible. You know, so I sit back and I say, so what's the question, right? The question to me is, who are we now as Americans? You know, I think really if we look at what we can see happening in November, or I would say leading up to November. Okay, so this corrupt judge put the sentencing trial on July 11th, which is 4 days before the Republican National Convention. So anyone who's saying this is not political interference is just not being honest. It's 4 days before, so all the cameras can come out, and these dishonest people can come out and just say, hey, yeah, we got a convicted felon, running as a Republican nominee. And really what they're depending on is the sort of dunces within the American body politic, right? Everyone that is sort of disconnected from the political things that are happening. The people that are surprised by the things that they see and don't really even know what is going on around them. It's one of the saddest things that I can think of, that people don't even know the freedoms that are being taken away from them. But it's where we are, and I think it's our job to sort of go out there and send that message that it's not all lollipops and daisies because of the precedent that has been set. So what happens when the next president is under fire for being unconventional, or he's not part of the club, right? Do we become numb to that? Do we just allow this to keep going on? This, like I said in past videos, the 1980s Nicaragua, other Latin American countries, even ourselves in some instances in the 80s, were very corrupt. And if we allow that to just be the modus operandi of our government, it's not going to be something that we live through very well. Our children and our children's children will inherit a world that is less safe, that is run by despots, that has robbed them of their future because there's no more money left. Everything's gone. Resources are gone. Competent leadership is gone. This is a fight for the Republic, and it's not an exaggeration, because if they can do that to Trump, they can do that to you. So what do we do? Well, that's the best question out there. There's only one thing that we can do, which is ride out and meet the challenge. We are not them. We won't riot. We won't burn buildings down. We won't kill. We won't do these things because it's not who we are. It's who they are. Now, yes, we can protect ourselves. We can force the issue. And in the end, we will win because we have more ammunition, basically. But that's not the message we need to be sending out to the greater population, because it's just not going to work out even if we do win that way. So our job has to be to get out there and volunteer, speak the truth to power, open others' eyes, make others realize that this is not normal. Again, Trump is just a vehicle. It's really you that they are after. It's you that they will lock up without all the fanfare and media news coverage. It's you they want to control. If they can do this to Trump, who's a Republican candidate for president, they will do this to you if you do not abide by the rules they set for you. But all we can do at this time is fight. Fight the right way. Fight the legal way. And believe in the ideas that if we do the right things in this country, we will continue to see prosperous times. And I think Trump said it best in this video.
This is the final battle. With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. We will expel the warmongers from our government. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists, Marxists, and fascists. We will throw off the sick political class that hates our country. We will rout the fake news media, and we will liberate America from these villains once and for all.
Remember, this is the moment. This is when you choose. Does liberty die? Or does it fight on for another generation? Anyway, thanks for joining me today on The Right Angle. And remember, stay curious, ask questions, think critically, and you will find the truth.